John Villasis is here. We'll call him Dr. V. He's an allergist and immunologist with the Austin Diagnostic Clinic. We're talking this morning about allergies, especially cedar fever. And Dr. V, thanks for joining us, by the way.
Thanks again.
But It is that season.
It is that season. You know, we're actually not quite into the cedar season quite yet, but it's going to be here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. This is the time of year. Unfortunately, Austin is one of those places where you're going to have cedar almost every single year, drought or not, it's going to be here. So typically it starts around the 3rd week of December, lasts until about the 2nd week of February.
So what kind of preventive measures can people take right now?
Right. So, I mean, well, the main thing is identifying the symptoms. I mean, I think the itchy eyes, itchy nose, sneezing is really what you want to try to get after. So now is the time to start with your certain nasal sprays. Your doctor usually can prescribe a nasal spray for you to start. And you really should be watching the weather on a daily basis to make sure that when the season really arrives that you start some over-the-counter antihistamines to start with.
And I don't know if people realize this, but over half of Americans have some kind of allergy, and so, you know, probably need to get tested.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think that there's several issues. Is that here in Austin specifically, there's always something that's pollinating. So we don't freeze like folks do up in the Midwest. And so the issue is that there's always something here. And cedar's one of the most allergenic trees that we know of.
And of course, here in Central Texas, we had an interesting situation, or we still do, with the drought.
Right.
How has that affected things?
It's been interesting because a lot of the allergists get together once in a while and we kind of debate how bad is the cedar going to be this year. Ragweed wasn't that bad, for example, because of the drought. Really hot summer, ragweed was very small. But cedar, we think, is a pretty resilient tree, so we think it's going to be here within the next 2 weeks.
And you look at just, you know, your garden variety household products. Yeah. What in that area can help with the allergies? Right.
So one of the things that I'm a big fan of is the nasal saline sprays. So, you know, the second you see the pollen in the air, just start that up. And of course you try to limit your time indoors, and you also try some of the over-the-counter non-sedating antihistamines like Zyrtec, Claritin, Allegra.
Any truth to the myth of hot tea and honey?
For some people, I mean, some people swear by it. I mean, unfortunately, some allergies are just so bad that you need something more. So you should probably see your allergist if that's the case.
And of course, we always have people moving into the area that maybe aren't used to these conditions. Yeah. What advice do you have for them?
Well, most people, it's very interesting. It's not well known why it takes a while for people to develop cedar allergy, for example, but it's hard to say what that trigger. I mean, I've been living in the area for now 15, 20 years in Central Texas, and knock on wood, hopefully, have not developed cedar allergy yet. So really, it's really hard to say who develops it and who doesn't.
How serious can allergies get?
Significant problems. So this time of year, especially when cedar hits, especially for those that suffer from asthma, significant problems. And so, unfortunately, I end up seeing a lot of children, a lot of adults who come in with significant asthma. And that, of course, in some cases can be life-threatening.
Dr. V, thanks for being with us. You can go to www.adclinic.com for more information. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.